Hello, everyone. Welcome to KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Anthony Mocklin, and today is Wednesday, which means it is Wellness Wednesday here on KTAL News Now. And we'll be diving into a variety of different health stories, topics, and tips that you can apply to your life to live a happier and healthier lifestyle. Now, first on the agenda kind of affects the country as a whole, as millions of Americans are soon to be paying more for their health insurance due to the fact that the Affordable Care Act subsidies are expiring. And according to NBC News, Trump has told Republicans that he will not accept a continuation of the current structure. And KTAL's Melody Newsom got to speak with an expert on what that means for Northwest Louisiana families.
Affordable Care Act enhanced premium tax credits are set to expire at the end of this year, leaving millions of people who buy health insurance on their marketplace to worry. Matthew McGough, policy analyst at the Kaiser Family Foundation, says most Americans are surprised by the significant cost increase.
People will stop receiving these enhanced tax credits on December 31st of this year. However, because people can start shopping as of November 1st and go through January 15th for coverage next year on the Affordable Care Act marketplaces, people are starting to experience that sticker shock in seeing that, oh, wow, on average, how much I'm going to have to pay for my health insurance premiums next year is going to over double.
He says many will see monthly premium payments topping $1,000 on average. KFF says people in southern states like Florida, Georgia, and Texas will be impacted most due to more people signing up for ACA coverage in the past 5 years. They say there are options for paying a lower monthly premium, but that comes with risk.
If people are at a higher metal tier option right now, so that's either gold or silver, they may consider dropping down to a bronze plan. And what that means is they're going to be paying a lower monthly premium that will have less of a strain on their monthly household budget. But the sort of counterweight to that is that they're going to have a higher deductible.
McGough encourages anyone who will be affected by losing the tax credits to please talk to your broker about the best solution possible. Melody Newsom, NBC6 News.
And for more information about President Trump's plans to moving forward, visit ktalnews.com. Now, online safety is very, very important, especially for younger kids and teenagers. And Instagram is regulating what content teenagers see on its platform with brand new regulations and rollouts. And I got to speak with Meta's head of safety policy to hear more.
We're really committed to making sure that families, can really have an age appropriate experience on our platforms, making sure that things are safe and age appropriate for teens. And our team really works to make sure that we're supporting parents to provide them with the tools and the resources they need so that their teens can have a safe and positive experience on our platforms.
And if I remember correctly, teen accounts first launched on the platform last year. How have they changed since then?
Yes, so we launched teen accounts in late 2024. We have been really thrilled to see the results. We've heard overwhelmingly from parents through surveys, from talking to parents, that they really like what we're able to provide with teen accounts. We have seen hundreds of millions of teens now around the world enrolled in teen accounts, which is really great. And we consistently also see that teens stay within the defaults that we've put them in. So our teen accounts are under 18 by default. If you're under 16, you need your parents' permission to change out of those. And we've really seen that most teens, I think it's about 97% of teens under 16, are staying in those defaults. But we've continued to listen to parents. We really, have heard from them, and we want to make sure that we're being responsive to their needs and what they want to see out of an experience for teens. And so we've built on teen accounts, and we just recently announced that we are going to have this new content experience for teens that's really guided by TV and movie ratings. So parents can have some peace of mind and kind of understand the type of content that their teens might be seeing when they're using Instagram. So restricting and filtering out some of the content from teens' experiences.
And can you dive into some of the more newer features that are available in regulating and keeping them safe online for parents that they might be interested in?
Yep. So the teen accounts are on by default. The content experience is on by default for those under the age of 18 now. So parents, should know and have some peace of mind that their teens are going to see content that's similar to what they'd see in a movie that's kind of rated for 13 and up. It'll filter out things like certain suggestive content, certain cursing, risky stunts, more violence and gore, things like that. So we're really excited to make that change. We actually listened to parents from around the world. We had about 3 million pieces of content rated to help us inform this new experience for teens. And we'll continue. Parents will still have the ability, if they're supervising their teens, to share feedback on whether or not certain content's age appropriate or not. We'll have parent surveys running to help inform this as well. In addition to the new content changes that we've done for teens, we also offer parental supervision tools. So if you're not already using them, you as a parent can supervise your teen's experience. You can get insight into things like who's following your teen, and the accounts that that your teen follows to understand, what type of content and who they may be interacting with. You can see who your teen has been messaging with if you have that on. And as a parent, one thing I find really important is we have a lot of tools for parents to control the amount of time their teens are spending on our platforms. So parents can set a daily limit, say, oh, you're only allowed 15 minutes of use or an hour of use. Parents can also set times of the day where they want to restrict their teens' use of the platform, and a lot of additional insights through our parental supervision tools.
And I guess my next question would be, what other areas do these new features apply to on Instagram specifically?
Yeah, so the new content restrictions, those are going to be across Instagram. So things like messaging, search, explore, reels, they're going to apply to accounts. So some accounts might be rated age inappropriate for those under the age of 18, or they'd be rated 18 and up. So teens won't be able to message with or view content from those accounts that might be rated for an older age audience. So it's kind of going to be across the board, across the platform on Instagram, even applying to AI experiences as well.
And how hard would it be for a teen to try to opt out of this? I know you said only, I guess, 3% of them ended up opting out. 97% did keep the defaults on. So I guess what safeguards are in place to make sure that that doesn't happen without a parent?
Yep, and those numbers are for teen accounts overall. So what we do, these are on by default, and actually, if you want to change into something less restrictive, you'll need your parents' permission to do that. So a teen, if they wanted to get out of the content restrictions, would have to talk to their parent. Their parent would use parental supervision, and the parent could grant them, a less restrictive experience. On the other hand, if a parent wants even more restriction, we're also now offering something called limited content. And that is an even more restrictive experience. It even prohibits things like teens from being able to leave or view comments, for example. So even more things would be kind of filtered out of that limited experience. And parents and teens, again, parents can decide to turn that limited content experience on for their teens. But there's a lot we're doing. We're using technology to really help us understand and identify those who might be trying to misrepresent their age or lie to get out of the default experience. But again, it's on by default for teens, and they need their parents' permission to change out of it.
And then what, I guess, inspired Instagram to start to crack down on this and increase the security on the platform?
Through you were asking about my role, like we talk to parents and we talk to policymakers, we talk to expert partners, and we've really built teen accounts to address the top concerns of parents. And so, through those conversations, through research, through other things with parents and with experts, we really wanted to make sure that we were addressing their top concerns, which are really the content that their teens are seeing, the contact that they might be having, unwanted contact, and the time that they're spending. And so this content piece of it is really an expansion of everything we've been hearing from parents. And we're going to continue to think about and address their concerns and build additional tools and features that could be helpful for them.
And with so much content on the platform, I guess, how does Instagram go about filtering what is appropriate and age appropriate or not? Like, what kind of system is in place for that?
Yep. So we use a lot of machine learning and automation to help us understand that. But again, to even learn in the first place, we really wanted to talk to parents to understand what they think is appropriate for those who are 13 to 18 and what might be appropriate for an older audience. And so that's where we did a lot of parent research and had parents looking at those millions of pieces of content to help inform, and that really helps us train our systems to understand what's appropriate for the younger audience. And then we also fine-tuned our community standards as well to ensure that those reflect what's age appropriate for teens and what's not.
And I guess, do you have any tips or other tips for parents who want, when it comes to children being online and in other areas, like what can advice could you give to them?
I think one of the most important things is to sit down and have an ongoing conversation in your family about online safety. We have a family center at Meta, familycenter.meta.com. That is, I think, the one stop shop for parents. It has information about those parental supervision tools that I mentioned, information about teen accounts, and it has a wonderful education center full of expert backed resources for families. So, guides to having conversations, how to deal with, bullying, for example, online well-being, all of these different topics that families are dealing with. The Family Center is really a source of information and support for them. So I would suggest go to the Family Center, learn a little bit more about the tools, check out the resources there, and sit down and have a conversation with your teens. Every family is different when it comes to their needs, when it comes to the tools they might want to use. We really want to make it easy for parents and customizable as well.
And is there anything that I didn't ask you today that you wanted to touch a little bit more on?
I think I really appreciate just, having the conversation and getting out there and sharing this with parents. And if other parents are paying attention, making sure to share within your community that the tools are here. Teen accounts are on by default for families. We have this new content experience that's rolling out across the US right now, and that parental supervision tools exist as well and are really an important piece of helping families manage their teens' experience online. But at Meta, we're just always listening. We want to take that feedback from parents and make sure that we're doing what we can to provide that safe and age appropriate experience for teens on our platforms.
And for more information about Meta's Family Center, you can go to familycenter.meta.com. And one thing regarding staying safe online, it doesn't just apply to teenagers, it applies to adults as well. And this online safety, with the holidays coming up, this is the peak season for scammers and cybersecurity hackers that are trying to get your money. If you're trying to buy gifts for your family, your loved ones, this is the prime time for them to commit these cyber crimes. And KTAL's Alicia Gatewood got to speak with a cybersecurity expert on how you can stay safe this holiday season.
Right now, cybercrime is the fastest growing business on earth, and this is the quarter that they make all their money from consumers.
Former FBI cybersecurity expert Eric O'Neill says all of these cyber scams during the holidays are using a sense of urgency because what the cyber criminals don't want you to realize is you might be exposed to fraud.
The safe thing to do is not ever click through that email, but to go directly to the store or the package service and find out what's going on, even if you have to call them.
O'Neill says when you see something on the internet that looks too good to be true, it might be.
How can we beat them at their own game?
So what you need to do is turn on two-factor authentication everywhere. Now that might mean the text that comes to your phone, or it might mean the Authenticator app, which is better, that you log on to and you get that number. But every time you're using that, you're protecting yourself from a potential cyber attack.
While there are things you can do, O'Neill says there are things you should not do, like use your debit card.
Use credit cards. When you're purchasing things online, never send a wire, never send a gift card, never send cryptocurrency. Those are always clues that it's a scam. Use your credit card because you get fraud detection.
Alicia Gatewood, NBC 6 News.
And for more information and tips on how to stay safe, be sure to visit our website at ktalnews.com. Now, when it comes to skincare routines, most adult Americans have a daily skin routine, nearly half of them to be in fact, and research has showed that unfiltered shower water exacerbates the skin conditions that are present, including eczema and psoriasis. And I got to speak with the senior vice president at AquaTrue and wellness expert Helen Cristoni to hear about how you can protect your skin in the shower.
A lot of us, especially in drier times of year in the winter, we get like red, itchy skin, flare ups. Sometimes we can have, acne, things like that. Also, our hair can get really dry, frizzy, and brittle. And that's partially due to a lot of these agents that they're putting into our water, like chlorine and also chloramines, which can strip our skin of essential moisture barriers and can be really, really harmful for our health.
And how important are those essential moisture barriers for our health?
Oh, it's really important. Like by taking a 10-minute shower, it's like drinking eight glasses of unfiltered tap water. So we want to make sure that what we're putting on our skin is as pure as possible, and also we don't want to be stripping away any of our natural moisturizing barriers to our skin. So things like using humidifier at home, don't exfoliate too much in the shower. People like over exfoliate, and that can really be harmful to our skin.
And how can people protect themselves from these contaminants that are present in the water?
So it's really important that you get yourself a shower filter, a filter that filters at the shower level. And there's a lot on the market, but not all of them address concerns that people have. And so when you're looking for a shower filter, it's very important that it removes both chlorine and chloramines, also heavy metal. And a lot of people don't know what chloramines are. So, this is a new term people aren't really familiar with. And so, it's important when you're shopping to make sure your shower filter removes chloramines too.
And outside of the shower, are there any other tips that you might have or advice for protecting your skin throughout the day?
Yeah, just make sure to continue to moisturize your skin. Any moisture that we're losing in our shower experience from things like chlorine and chloramines, we want to be able to first, you should filter it out because that's going to change your whole shower and skincare experience. So I think like investing in a great quality shower filter is going to be a game changer for people that are experiencing skin issues. And so let's start there. Second of all, like make sure that you're constantly moisturizing with really clean skincare ingredients.
And what are some of the benefits for moisturizing your skin long term?
Oh, well, I mean, your skin is your biggest organ. And we're going to have our skin for the rest of our lives. So it's really important that we take care of it. And also, nobody likes to have dry, itchy skin. It's very uncomfortable, psoriasis, eczema, all these things. I mean, it can just be very uncomfortable to live that way. So I think by having really great skin hygiene, you'll be happy overall and really be able to just be a little bit more comfortable in our own skin.
And you mentioned filtering water at the shower level. What
Yeah.
options are available to people? Like, are there different models, like different things that they do?
Yeah, so we just recently, we're AquaTrue, and so we are water filter experts. We filter water at the sink level and the under the sink level, and we just put out this really great new filtered shower head. And one thing that was really important to us with our AquaTrue shower was to make sure it removes chloramines. So chloramines are used widely in the United States, and it's a blend of ammonia and chlorine, which is it's worse than just regular chlorine, and it's used in all these major cities across the US. And so this is a new term like I was saying earlier. So when you're looking for a shower filter, make sure it removes both chlorine and chloramines, and you're going to feel an immediate difference in your skin.
And where can people learn more about doing their own research or trying to figure out which ones do which?
Oh, sure. Well, you can go to aquatrue.com. That's my company, and you can do some research there. Another really, really great place to do some research is at the Environmental Working Group. I love to send people there also. And just reach out. We'll answer your questions.
And is there anything that I didn't ask you today that you wanted to touch a little bit more on?
Yeah, I mean, I just think I think it's very important that people at home understand what their municipality is using to filter their water. And so you could just look wherever you live, wherever your district is, and see what they're using. So, like I said, if know what's in your water, and that's a really, really great place to start. And if you have any questions, just visit us over at AquaTrue.
And the full findings for the research are up on our website now at ktalnews.com. Now, today I wanted to do a little bit of a different segment where we kind of look at world news around the globe. And that segment is fittingly called Spin the Globe. It's where we choose pretty much a random country that spins on a wheel and we just see what's going on over there. So, without further ado, let's get to spinning the wheel and see where we're going today. Let's see what it lands on. Today, we are going to the Dominican Republic. Navy called in to help with rescue after TUI cruise catamaran capsizes. Catamaran carrying approximately 50 TUI cruise passengers capsized in the Bay of Samana, Dominican Republic on last Sunday. And the vessel reportedly sank due to malfunction inside its hull, and passengers from the cruise ship were rescued by nearby boats following an emergency call to the Navy of the Dominican Republic. All guests were returned, offered care and compensation, and chose to continue their 14-day Central America trip. So they still at least got to get their trip out of it, which is really nice. But I'm glad that everybody was safe. Everybody was all right in this. It could have been a whole lot worse. But looking forward to, let's go to another one here where we spin the wheel once again and see where we are heading. We are going to Timor-Leste. So, citizen scientists are reportedly uncovering the secret lives of blue whales in the South Pacific coast. Let's see. They're using drone technology to study the whales and, I guess, monitor their behavior. And according to this, Timor-Leste has one of the world's highest concentration of marine mammals, which is pretty cool. I did not know that. And during the migration season of the whales, which is this month and last month, hundreds of pygmy blue whales pass through the country's waters as they journey thousands of kilometers from the Banda Sea, which lies to the north of Timor-Leste, all the way to southern Australia. So all the way to the north of Timor-Leste, and I guess they go all the way below Australia here, which is pretty cool. They captured underwater footage of a mother nursing her calf, often offering a glimpse into the species' reproductive behaviors, which have remained largely unknown. I did not know we didn't know a whole lot of when it comes to the behavior when raising younger whales, which is really, really cool. Beautiful animal. And it actually is supported by the country's Ministry of Tourism and Environment, which originally started as a Facebook group inviting local tour operators, fishermen, and residents to share sightings of cetaceans. They trained them on surveying methods and taught them how to use the cameras and drones so that they can efficiently survey the whales and see how they behave. They have their own research station that was set up last year outside of one of the villages, and this is them just overlooking the bay, which is really, really cool to see the people of the community who have that shared interest come together like that and just study these largely unknown animals. I did not know that we didn't have a whole lot of information to go on when it comes to these. I guess they are a rare sighting when it comes to that, but it's really, really cool that we're learning more about it. I mean, if you think about it and you look at the research where only a certain percentage, a very, very small percentage of the ocean floor has been actually explored and charted. It's really, really crazy to see what else is out there, not just in the world, but just in our own oceans. And I've always found that really fascinating. Although the ocean is pretty scary, I do have um, I'd say a pretty major fear when it comes to open water and just not being able to see what I'm swimming in, especially if the water below you is hundreds or even thousands of feet deep. It's just like, ooh, it just kind of freaks me out a little bit because you really never know what is actually down there. So it's really cool to see that we are learning more about these animals, these mammals specifically, these marine mammals, which I mean we're mammals as well. So it's cool to see fellow air breathers being studied in this way. But it's really cool to see that they are doing this. It seems to be that they're saying this is whale tourism since they have such a high concentration of these marine mammals in the country. They're hoping that this whale tourism helps boost their economy because it unfortunately is one of the poorest in the world. And it says the average incomes in cities hover around $1,500, according to the International Monetary Fund. And most of these villagers outside of these cities work as subsistence fishermen and farmers, and they earn just about $600 to $900 a year, which is absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. So hopefully this increased tourism will help spur their economy so that these fishermen and farmers and community members can actually make a living doing what they clearly enjoy. But that's about all I have today for today's Wellness Wednesday and the Spin the Globe segment. Be sure to tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on KTAL News Now. And then you can also visit ktalnews.com, which is where you can get all of your local breaking and trending stories. That's also the home of KTAL News Now, which again streams Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. You can view our previous editions of KTAL News Now on our website, on our YouTube page at KTAL News. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining us.